Morning, babes. How are we doing? Well, what, late morning. I've been to Loughborough, done my over 60 shopping at Iceland. So you can't give up on this beautiful weather, can you? So here I am out tabbing. Again, only going to be a quick one, quick 5 miler. Down to Swilly Res as normal because got a few things to do this afternoon as I'm driving up to Bonnie, Scotland tomorrow. Ready to work at the Dunhill Links. So I'm asking all of you, have a good pray to the old weather gods and ask them to keep this weather going until Sunday. Because as you know, in Scotland, all 4 seasons in one day. So what we're going to talk about today? Well, I'm going to follow up on 2 articles that Keith has done. Let's tab 59. The first one being the fan dance. And I'm going to show you, as I said, it's called Penny Van, not Penny Fan, it's Penny Van for those Welsh people out there. But it's known as the fan dance. And as Keith said, he's got a mate of his that wants to give it a go. Well, my strong advice here, as Keith has said, there's a company, a group of SF lads called the SF Experience. Can't beat them. They know exactly what they're talking about. They'll give you the best advice. They will give you all the training tips you need before you even attempt it. But my suggestion to anyone is, if you're thinking about the fan dance, the best thing to do, go out and just try and ascend Penny Fan via what we call the motorway. So you park up at Pontadaff car park. It's National Trust. In fact, the whole of Brecons is National Trust land. But there's a car park there now. Years ago, when I used to go to the regimental reunion, there was a little car park. We all used to get there late on Friday, park up and take out all the parking spaces. But the parking spaces now, there's about room for about 250, I believe, cars. Because what they've done is they've cut down the woods that we used to camp in and decided to build a car park, which really peed us off because that's our sleeping area. I mean, even to the point, Lisa, when I first met her, always said that she would never ever go camping. She'd done it as a kid, got soaked wet through, and was never going to do it again. Well, after my cancer in 2006, once I recovered, myself, my dad, my brother, my brother-in-law did the Welsh Three Peaks Challenge. So we started off, we did Snowdon, then we came down and did Cadair Idris, and then we finished that on Penny Fan, would you believe? And it was on my dad's birthday that we ascended that. So we got there, or we're halfway up there, and I get a phone call off Lisa. And the conversation went like this: how much do you love me? Well, my initial thought is she's going to crash the car or something. So I said, well, what you done? She said, I've bought a tent. So I said, why have you bought a tent? She said, I thought me and the kids would come with you when you go to the regimental weekend. So I, oh, right, okay. So we drive all the way back from the fan, gets home. She hasn't bought a tent. She's bought what I can only describe as an 8-berth hotel. This thing was massive. If you ever go on to the Outwell site and look for the Georgia XL, you'll see what I mean. And ironically, my stepdaughter is called Georgia. So regimental weekend turns up. We turn up on a Friday night, gets the tent out of the car, pitches it in the woods that used to be at the base of the fan. And the regimental colonel said to me, young Nobs, is that for you and the family, or we're getting a whole bloody regiment in there? That's how big it was. But if you do consider going to the fan, yeah, my strong advice to you, make sure that you are prepared. Now, I follow some of the mountain rescue teams, Snowdon, Brecons, and especially Snowdon. Some of the sites and everything that they've had to come across in rescuing people is quite amazing. But a good example was one year at the fan. We were all stood at the car park down at Pontefract, and suddenly this car arrives, and it was a stag party. And they get out of the car. One of them was dressed in a dress with stiletto heels. And it was one of my old sergeant majors, a bloke called Brad Grady, went over and he said, "What do you think you're doing, son?" He went, "Oh, I'm going up the mountain with the boys." I went, "No, you're bloody well not. Not dressed like that." So oh, it'd be a laugh. He said, "It won't be a laugh when you end up being rescued by the mountain rescue team." He said, "Go and get some proper bloody shoes on." Yeah, but they'd come from a stag do, no backpacks, no cold weather gear, no wet weather gear, nothing. So my strong advice to you, any of you that go out doing any sort of hill walking, mountain walking, make sure you're fully prepared. Now, as you can see, my Bergen on the back there, I'm only going down to the Resi. My Bergen weighs around about £30. And in there is everything that I would ever need, yeah, in case of an emergency. And the equipment that I carry in this Bergen has been used on numerous occasions here, just on the flat, here in Leicestershire. So I'm prepared for anything. Prepared to help other people who make practice of themselves. I remember myself and my dad came down, or we were going up Snowdon, and there was a guy in front of us. It was a beautiful day, just like today, but we know that the weather can change in a heartbeat. So, bloke in front of us got to weigh close to 20 stone. I give him pat to his elbows going up the Llanberis Pass, which is the easiest route of Snowdon, if you didn't know. It's the longest, but it's the easiest. And on a day like today, he's sweating buckets. His t-shirt's wringing wet. He's got no backpack with any water or anything like that. He's going out for a stroll up the mountain, which is what a lot of people tend to think that going up a mountain is all about. Well, we're 2/3 of the way up the mountain when we meet them, and the weather's turned. It's got extremely cold. He's got no jacket or nothing, him and his wife. And myself and my dad dug into our Bergens, got our spare equipment out and handed it over. Now, admittedly, the jacket that my dad gave to the bloke, yeah, it wasn't going to fit properly because my dad's not 20 stone, but it was enough to keep him warm. We then got him up to the cafe that's at the summit of Snowdon. Got him in there, got him a hot drink, something to eat, and then myself and my dad escorted him back down the mountain. But when we got to the bottom, down at the railway line, we stopped, they handed us our jackets back, and my dad just looked at the bloke square in the eyes and said, "If I ever catch you on a mountain unprepared again, son," he said, "I'll throw you off the bloody thing myself." Because the mountain rescue team, they put their lives on the line to provide some sort of safety for people that are just born idiots. There's no two ways to say it. I've seen people in flip-flops and things like that. Now, I must admit, I don't do Snowdon anymore. It's too much of a tourist attraction. Same with the fan, to be honest, nowadays. Because of the prestige of the regiment and everything, everyone wants to go up the fan. Now, there's two routes that you can do up the fan. Well, there's several, but the two main routes are from the Story Arms at the Red Telephone Box, and then going up to the fan, the summit of the fan itself. Yeah, or going from the Pont à Daf car park, which is not far from the Story Arms. And the route up there, we call it the motorway, because that's what it is. It's just a stream of people heading up to the mountain. And like I say, you get people there that are totally unprepared, no water, nothing. As Keith mentioned, on selection a few years ago, 3 lads died. It was July, one of the hottest Julys we've ever had. 3 lads doing selection, and they died, yeah, due to dehydration. Now, no one really knows what went on, why the lads didn't make sure that they were hydrated. I know when I go up Pen y Fan, I always have enough water. Also, if you listen as you're going up the mountain, you'll hear the streams running down. And now, yes, some of it will have some sort of pollutant in there, but if it's a choice between making yourself a little bit sick or dying, I know which one I prefer. But as my granddaughter tells her dad, it's all right, because granddad knows how to filter stuff like that, and I do. Yeah, I learned from the best, a bloke called Lofty Wiseman, and he taught us loads about survival. So if you want to do it, maybe go and just do a walk, yeah, up from Pont à Daf, yeah, and then go to the summit. Now, as you're going up the fan, you won't see the summit of Pen y Fan, and then suddenly you get a view of what you think is the summit of the fan itself. That's Corn Du. Yeah, it's another one of the mountains that's there. You have to go round the back or over the top of Corn Du, and then it leads you up to the fan. And as Keith has said, over 800 odd metres high. Yeah, hell of a distance. From the fan, some beautiful views, yeah, if you get to see, yeah, all the way out to Talabont Reservoir. Yeah, and on a good day, you can actually look out to Cardiff Bay. So if you've got a good day, it's beautiful. Yeah, but as I've said earlier, the mountains will change in a heartbeat. I've gone from a beautiful day like today out on the fan. I've got to the top and I can't see my hand in front of your face. Now, when you get to the summit of the fan, be aware there is a sheer drop on one side of it. So if you are going up and the weather is inclement and you can't see where you're going, please watch what you're doing. 2 of the lads from the regiment went over the side, and it was due to the fact they were wearing ponchos. The wind caught under their poncho, grabbed them and threw them off the top. 1 died, 1 survived. So please be aware of the safety aspects of not only the fan but any mountain. So like I say, if you want to have a go at the fan dance, yeah, get in touch with SF Experience. Great bunch of lads, vast array of experience, and they will do everything to make sure that you do things in a safe manner. I've been up the fan that many times I've lost count. I've been up in the dark. I've actually taken a group of young offenders up onto the top of the fan at midnight so that they could see the stars. It was a beautiful crisp night. Took them up there. They loved every minute of it. So, the fan dance. Right, the other one I want to talk about, this thing about the vegans. Now, as I put in the comment, on a post that Keith put, I was attached to a unit during the first Gulf War, and our commanding officer was a vegan. Very strange bloke, I must admit. One of the things that did annoy me was he forced his children into being vegans as well. Now the reason I say that, yeah, is my stepdaughter Lauren, Lisa's eldest, and her husband Tom, they're both vegetarians. Our granddaughter Lily, who's 10 now, they have not forced her into becoming a vegetarian. Yeah, it's quite funny. One of the comments that Lily made one day was, "Mummy, you're always enthusiastic about vegetarian food. Why aren't you enthusiastic about McDonald's?" Lily loves eating burgers and stuff. And like I say, when I was attached to the unit, when we were back in Germany, we used to have barbecues, family barbecues and stuff. And it used to make me sad to see his children looking at the other kids tucking into burgers and hot dogs and stuff like that. And they'd literally be drooling. Yeah. Now, I'm a great believer. If you want to become a vegan, vegetarian, whatever it is, yeah, you do not force it on children who they're not able to make up their own minds, are they? Yeah, but the whole thing about the vegan uniforms, I always asked the question back in the 90s, so what's going to happen if his boots need changing? Or this needs changing, or that needs changing, or he needs a woolly pulley to keep warm. Yeah, what happens then? And like I say, this was in the early 90s. And I never really got an answer on it. He even, while we were on exercise one year, decided that the whole regiment would have a vegan meal. And then he went round asking people what they thought. I don't think he was too happy with the answers, to be honest. I've got a friend of mine, H.L. Harvey. He used to come to the regimental dues up at the Fan. And one of the blokes who used to be an SQMS, it was his turn to organise the ration packs for us. So Jim pulled out the ration pack for H, and it was one of these halal ration packs that the British Army's now been issuing. H just looked at me and went, "What the bloody hell's this?" He said, "Oh, it's a halal ration pack, so I thought you'd like it." H just looked at it and went, "I want my normal great bacon grill and everything, same as everyone else, so get me a proper ration pack." He wasn't a practicing Muslim as such, was H. Maybe it was because during his time, and also our time, you just ate what got put in front of you. Main reason you ate it was you didn't know when you were going to get fed from one day to the next, or whether you were going to be able to stop to get fed. So you crammed anything you could down your neck. But that's the difference, isn't it? Yeah, we've got this now where I believe it's the RAF are looking into this vegan uniform. Well, good luck with that, guys. Yeah. There's only a few people that are vegan, so surely we should be accommodating for the majority of people. And by trying to accommodate from this small minority, we're now going to put pressure onto the supply chain. It's bad enough, I don't know about now, but I know during our time, during the Cold War, trying to get some equipment was a bloody nightmare. And you can just imagine now, with this whole vegan thing, how it's going to be such a pain. Also, the stores people are then going to have to segregate everything and make sure they're issuing the right kit to the right people. What a palaver. So, really, and this is my own personal view, I don't believe that if you're of that ilk, yeah, you should even consider joining the armed forces. Like I say, that's my personal view. Because within the armed forces, you've got to deal with all sorts of situations. So if you're freezing cold and you haven't got one of these vegan woolly pulleys or whatever for you, yeah, which one are you going to do? Freeze to death or stick a normal woolly pulley on? that you can get hold of. Be interesting to find out what people say. So like I say, 2 articles that I wanted to talk about there. Yeah, like I say, the fan dance and this thing about vegan uniforms. And I say, I've experienced both. So I think I've got a little bit I can say about it. Anyway, I'm now about a mile and a half into my tab. It's only going to be a quick one. Like I say, I've got to get sorted out to drive up to Scotland tomorrow. Over the following 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to be working at the Dunhill Links Championship up at St Andrews. And if you don't know what that is, it's a golf competition which is basically a pro celebrity golf competition. So there are going to be some TV, film celebrities at the event. I've done it a couple of years. I'm going up this year because yeah, it's something that I enjoy doing. Yeah, and also it gets me out and gets me walking. So anyway, I'm going to leave you at that. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Like me and Keithan say, consider it. We're not telling you what to do. We don't do that on this channel, do we? No, we don't. Yeah. But if you do subscribe, just drop me a little comment. Say, hey, Nobs, I'm so-and-so from such and such. I've had some wonderful comments come through recently from all over the world of people that are subscribing to my channel. Thank you very much for taking the time to subscribe. And I do attempt to reply to every single one of you because you've taken the time to subscribe to this dodgy old git, yeah, waffling on. So it's only right that I'll give you some time of day as well. So to you all out there, on this wonderful Tuesday with this beautiful weather, if you get the chance during your lunch break or whatever, get outside, get some sunshine, because it ain't going to last for much longer. Please, everyone, take care of yourselves. And I say stay safe, not only in normal life, but especially if you're looking at going up and down mountains. Yeah, make sure you adhere to all the safety stuff that you can get vast amounts of information about. If you want to speak to me about things to do with mountain climbing and that, please feel free to drop me a line. I'm more than willing to give you my vast experience. Good morning. To give you my experience, yeah, in the amount of hill walking that I've done and stuff that I think that you should be taking along with you. So like I say, I'm going to carry on. Take care of yourselves, and as me and Keith always say, let's tab.